Welcome, everyone, to Audiolosophy. This is a podcast where we talk about music, philosophy, and anything related to sound waves. My name is Serge, and I would like to thank you for joining me on this awesome adventure. Before we get into our show, I'd like to thank our sponsors, True Force Fitness Wear, inspiring you to be the best version of yourself every single day, both physically and mentally. And now you too can own a piece of True Force Fitness Wear clothing. If you use the promo code at checkout labeled Audio Force, you will get 10% off your purchase. And make sure to like them and follow them on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Our second sponsor, Zetnom Sounds, your audio and visual specialist supporting the scene since 2010. They got some cool shit out there. Today we have my good friend Adam Montez. I have worked with Adam for many years now. I helped him make his music videos for his band Dennis is Dead Decades In, and he's a wonderful person. He's always down to help anyone out. On top of all that, Adam has played in a lot of bands. We learned about that today. It was fun talking. We learned about some business, how we handle the business, and we learned about some crazy trips. We learned about how to deal car crashes and what not to do in a Vegas strip club. So please give it up for my good friend Adam Montez. All right, we're going. What's up, Adam?
What up, man? What's
How's
going
it
on? I'm good, dude. I'm good, really good.
How's daddy life?
You know, man, it was the toughest thing I've ever had to do, but also the most rewarding. You know, I consider myself a pretty even-keeled, relaxed guy, and I've talked to people about being a dad, like that they were people that were dads, and ask them like, hey man, what's it like? And they would tell me, oh my god, it's difficult, it's tough, it's like mentally draining, you're exhausted all the time, you're walking around like a zombie. And to me, I was like, man, it'll be fine, it'll be easy.
I just had a kid, so
yeah, exactly. So my daughter Jolise was born January 12th, and they were not lying. It was tough, man. I mean, those restless nights, you literally are like a zombie walking around. I'm bumping into stuff in the walls,
How many days did you take off?
So I right away. So she was born on a Saturday.
Nice.
We went in on Friday night, and then born Saturday. Or wait, no, went in on Thursday night. Born on Friday. Sorry, babe. My wife's gonna be. So on a Friday she was born, and then I was off for I think it was 5 weeks.
Nice.
Straight. Yeah, and then I got 2 more weeks of paternity in July. So do some traveling and driving around with the baby, and we got a wedding to go to, and my birthday's in July, so yeah, it'll be busy 2 weeks, but it'll be nice. Yeah, but yeah, man, it's been great. Seeing her change, it's crazy. I mean, how quick they change. Literally it's every crazy. Day, they're learning new stuff. I mean,
so she's
four months now. Yeah.
So, she still looks like a baby, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't noticed that much of a change until I look at pictures, and it's like, crap, man, it's like that's a lot. I mean, I noticed her being able to pay attention to things. Like I noticed all that stuff, but the way she looked, I didn't really notice the change too much until I looked at pictures. And we use this app called Photo Circle with my family, so anytime someone's watching her, they can upload pictures to there, and we can all share it and stuff.
Oh, that's cute.
And then looking through that's where I'm like, wow, she really has changed.
I just I got my mom and grandma a digital photo frame that's Wi-Fi.
Oh,
so
nice.
I just sent it through the phone, right?
What?
And now I'm going through all the old photos. Like, oh crap.
Yeah.
He used to look like a baby. Now he looks like a boy because he's almost 11 months.
Wow.
11 months next Monday.
That's cool.
And it's like, dude, you see the personality developing. You see everything. Yeah. It's like, and you start seeing yourself a little bit in them.
I already see it. It's funny, man. Yeah, it's all of Jamie's family. My wife Jamie, her family says Jolise looks just like her. Yeah. And all my family says the baby looks like me. So we'll see. I mean, I think she definitely doesn't have my skin tone. She's pretty light. She got sunburned a couple weeks ago. So we're going to the beach tomorrow all day. So we'll see how she does on that.
Right on. Which beach you go to?
Seacliff State Beach.
Where's that?
It's in Santa Cruz. So my family, even before I was born, over 30 years. Yeah, I'm 30 years old. My family's always gone to Seacliff State Beach, the one with the big cement ship.
Okay.
And it's kind of like a reunion, except my family pretty much lives close by. Everyone lives within maybe an hour of San Jose. So it's anytime we have a birthday party, everyone's there. Anytime there's Christmas, everybody's there.
Oh, nice.
But in the beach, same thing, everybody's there. But that's the one event that if for some reason you couldn't make Christmas, you couldn't make Easter or something, everybody goes to the beach, and we get there at 4 a.m. to claim our spot. It's crazy Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah.
And we're there cooking, eating, playing football until they close at 8 or whatever when they kick us out. But it's a long day. Nice. And then Monday will be recovery day.
Has your whole family met her?
Yes. Pretty much. I have a couple cousins that moved out of state that are coming for the beach, and so they'll meet her for the first time tomorrow. But pretty much everyone else has. And I mean, I have a huge family. So in this last year, I think there's 8 babies that are within a year of each other. Damn. It's going to be crazy. Yeah, it'd be cool. A lot of girls.
A lot of cousins.
A lot of cousins.
That's
nice. I have close to 50 first cousins. So, once we all hit that age. Yeah, exactly. I really am Mexican. Once we all hit that age, everyone's having kids. And so it's a cycle of life, right? Circle of life. It's coming around, and yeah, it's really exciting.
Yeah, what's weird, my kid's not going to have many cousins.
No. Lots of friends?
Lots of friends, yeah. I guess friend is family, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Friends are family.
Yeah, friends are family you choose.
But yeah, dude, being a father is awesome. I mean, like, like, it's tough, it's everything, but it's, like, rewarding.
Definitely.
What I've, like, equivocated to was, like, when there's, like, I guess, when you're recording an album or something that you're just deep into it.
Yeah.
And then, like, after, like, the whole time it's like, goddamn. But when it's over, you look back and you're like, let's do it again.
That's exactly, dude. I want to have a lot of kids. I'm part of a big family. Well, I only have one brother and sister, but my cousins, I have a lot of cousins, and they're like my family, or my brothers and sisters to me. And so I wanted to have like 10 kids. Growing up, I'm like, man, when I hit 23, I want to have my first kid. Like, I had planned everything out, Then I hit 23 years old, and I'm like, no way. Like, I'm not ready for this. So, just had our first, but I wanted to have 4 kids, or I want to have 4 kids, because I'm one of 3. And my wife is one of 2, and she's superstitious with even numbers. So she's like, well, let's have 3. And I'm like, but I want to have more than that because I'm one of 3. Yeah. So we're going to aim for 5, and then we'll see what we get. So we'll see. Hopefully my band's not too upset about that.
Nah, they'll be happy.
They're cool. They're happy.
Be like, just tell them to tell your kids to take songs.
Yeah, exactly, right? I mean, we might need a fill-in guitarist, so I could teach in a couple of years.
Got every position filled.
Yeah.
5.
Yeah.
Woo. I think me and my girl. Well, I want 4.
Yeah.
But she wants 2, but now she's leaning more towards 3.
Oh, okay.
She loves being a mom.
Yeah.
It's fucking awesome.
Yeah. And it's for Jamie, I'm sure for any mom really, it's just a different connection, like the mom and baby connection. The dad. You'll be there as much as you can, and you try to nurture the baby, feed the baby, hold the baby, but it's just. Sometimes when the baby's crying, mom? He or she just wants mom. Yeah, exactly. There's nothing you can do. So
I have a boy, and from what I've been told, our boys are really mama boys.
Really?
Really mama boys. And he really is.
Yeah.
It's like, she'll leave the room.
Yeah.
He'll start crawling to the door. We're like,
oh my God.
I'm like, oh, look, come on, let's go.
When did he start crawling?
Around 6 months.
Oh, okay.
Dude, he bolts now. He's trying to trying to take a couple steps.
Yeah,
He'll get like a 1 or 2 in and go.
Yeah. Oh my God. See, I can and can't wait for that. So once they're mobile,
mine's gonna be a runner.
Yeah. Oh, great.
He just grabs everything. He's a troublemaker.
Yeah. Already. Jeez.
I'm gonna call him troublemaker. He's curious, very curious about everything. He moves very fast about it.
Oh, nice. Do you play guitar around him at all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I play more so uke.
Oh, nice.
Because I don't really have room for a guitar right now. Only when I'm at my girlfriend's house. Because
okay.
I moved my classical over there.
Oh, nice.
He loves it.
Yeah. And
he'll try to grab it, and then he'll pull it.
Yeah.
I'm like, don't do that.
The string.
I don't want him snapping on him.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Do you play for your dog?
Yeah. So I before when Jamie was pregnant, I was playing guitar a lot around her, and then I brought my guitar. I have a 3/4 scale acoustic that I brought to the hospital.
Oh, nice.
And because everyone's got their own birth plan. They want to make a playlist or watch a movie, whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
And I didn't tell Jamie like, hey, I should play guitar for you. I just let her. That's her thing.
Yeah.
Whatever she wants. And she was like, can you bring your guitar? And play a little. Nice. So I brought it, and I was pretty much playing almost the whole time that she was going through the labor. And I think that actually really helped a lot. It helped me keep me cool and calm, and it helped her.
I'm gonna have to do that for the next one.
Yeah. So it was pretty cool. And then now whenever I play JoJo, she's like mesmerized. She'll be crying, and then I start playing, and she just locks onto the guitar and watches. So I like to think that, I'm sure she could hear when she was in the womb, but I like to think that she remembers that, from being inside. And
that's gonna be tight.
Yeah. So hopefully, if she doesn't play music, that's fine. But Hopefully she does.
Yeah. Dude, my kid loves music.
Yeah.
Does your, like, any kind of music? How does your daughter handle it?
If I'm playing it, and whatever I'm playing, she's kind of just
Mesmerized?
in awe, mesmerized. But really anything else, like, like for her to watching, well, if she's watching TV, I guess she's mesmerized by that.
Mm-hmm.
But, playing music or whatever, lullaby stuff, of course, when she goes to bed, that helps. But haven't really noticed anything else where she's like turns her attention real quick or anything like that. But
My son, he loves music.
yeah.
Like, he gravitates toward it. Like, because we got a little, speaker.
Yeah.
So if the music starts playing, he'll, like, look at it. And if you're holding him too, and let's say someone walks in between the speaker and him,
Yeah.
he'll be like, move. He'll just push him out of the way.
That's hilarious. That's funny. That's
And-
cool.
He loves Dead Kennedys.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. That's awesome. That's cool.
And then he claps with everything.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he so what I did, when you're burping her?
Yeah.
If there's like a lullaby in the background or whatever music we have in
Yeah,
the background, I
yeah.
do it to the tempo.
Yeah, I do the same thing.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, it works.
Yeah.
They'll pick it up.
Yeah. I mean, I like grab her hands as I'm singing to her or something. I'll like on the beat, I'm just like squeezing her hands, and I agree. I think that's all that stuff helps, and that will make a difference in the long run.
Yeah. Dude, I hope I don't. But yeah, because I can't practice with the metronome.
God. Yeah, I can't either, but Michael does all the time. Now, well, I don't know about practice, but he plays with the metronome.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he does. So what's new with you? What are you guys doing? What's down the pipeline?
So for me, I've been focusing a lot on my clothing company that I started in 2016, True Force Fitness Wear.
Mm-hmm.
I started that. It was actually not my uncle's idea. He was thinking about making supplements, calling it True Force supplements or whatnot.
Yeah.
And a couple of years back, and so we were talking about it one day, and I told him, I don't know anything about supplement industry, and I wasn't really interested in doing something like that. But I told him, hey, his idea sounded cool as like a clothing line and like it being inspirational and all that. So I kind of talked to him about maybe what about doing clothes instead? Because I've always wanted to do a clothing line. I just didn't have an idea on what I wanted to do, and there's so many out there, and I mean there still is, but. So once we kind of mocked up a logo, and I started getting all excited about it, and at first my plan was just to help him kind of get it off the ground, and I just got so immersed in it. I'm like, man, this is actually kind of fun, like being creative and getting to make your own logos and designs and stuff. And so we started doing that. We got it officially launched. We've been doing it since 2016, but we're official since January 1st of this year.
Okay.
With all the legal part, all the business stuff and that. So I've been spending a lot of time making designs. We just got tons of inventory delivered. This whole beach thing that we go to for my family, they're huge supporters, so they always want to buy stuff. So
Nice.
my goal was to kind of get as much stuff as I could before this date. So then we can kind of get it out there to the family. They kind of help spread the word. And, it's not huge, but we're not losing money. It's not a waste of time. We're making enough to make it work and to make it
Sustainable.
Yeah, exactly. So I've been spending a lot of time on that. And then, music. I don't have that much time to practice now with the baby and doing True Force. And then I still have my other company, Zetnam Sounds, selling pro audio gear. And that's kind of on the back burner. I mean, it's still there. And I if people hit me up, of course I'll hook them up and help them. But I haven't been doing too much promo or putting too much work into that. But it's still there. And then the band, man, it's like, I know a lot of people haven't heard too much from us lately. We haven't really been playing too many shows since we did our last tour.
Go ahead, drop your name.
Oh, Decades In?
Yeah.
The band Decades In, yeah. Ex Dennis is dead. So we did a tour with Samsara. Man, it's been so long. I think it was Samsara more than that, 5 months ago or something. We did about a 2-week run with them. And then once we came back from tour, we just started doing a lot of writing. We didn't practice, so I didn't see Michael too much because Michael he's not part of the initial writing process.
Yeah.
Usually it's Daniel, myself, and Josh. We meet up at Josh's house once or twice a week, go through ideas, try to bring our ideas together, record stuff at Josh's, do some scratch tracks, and then we'll write drums. And then when we show Michael, the drums are just kind of a skeleton. He'll play some of it if he likes it, or he'll just add his own stuff in.
Yeah. I gotta get Michael on here.
So yeah, you should, man. Michael's he's doing a lot of stuff too. He would love to. I'm sure he'd love to do it. Yeah. So we've been doing a lot of writing. We nothing recorded officially yet, but I think our goal is to have something by the summer, or at least once
nice.
a single or something. But it's really exciting, man. Like music is just always changing, right? And then it's like every 10 years or so, something's popular again, and it kind of comes back around full circle. So like new metal, it's kind of like coming back, and people incorporating that into hardcore and everything. So our new songs are similar to our old stuff, but they've got this more, I'd say it's like more lead heavy, like nothing crazy leads, but just more lead heavy. And then now that we're officially a 4-piece, right? We've been a 4-piece since we've been decades in. Writing with knowing that we're a 4-piece has been a little bit different, like we still have to record that second guitar, but then really thinking about like, well, what part do we want to be live or on track or whatnot. But yeah, I mean, it's a really good process. We've been doing good. Josh, all of us have our own role. Josh is kind of like the coach of the band. He's kind of been our manager, was our manager for a while, and then we got onto Pinup Artist Management a year or two ago, I think it was.
Oh, nice.
So we've been with Pinup, but Josh is like our in-home like band manager. He like coordinates with all the shows and all the promoters and everything like that. He's kind of the voice for the band.
Okay.
And same thing with writing songs. He voices his opinion a lot on like, hey, what if we try some writing something like this, or so Daniel and I will bring pieces together and we put it kind of like a bakery, right? We Josh is the chef, so there's Daniel and myself that bring all the ingredients in, and then Josh kind of like, okay, well, let's try this, different mixtures, different ideas. So it's working out pretty good. I'm just itching to get in the studio to record something. And like you said, it's like one of the toughest things, right? Recording music, but it's so rewarding when you're done. So I'm jonesing for that opportunity. And also playing music, man, playing live. Like that's what I live for, playing live. We just played in Carson City last weekend.
Yeah, I saw the pictures.
Yeah, it was great, dude. We our buddy Daniel Dare from the band With Wolves came. He's a photographer, pretty much our photographer, or a lot of people's photographers, but he does photos for us.
Oh, right on.
He came with us on tour, or on that for that show. Took some video, some pictures. So I'm sure we'll make some sort of little post or clip or something like that of the show. And then our friends in We Predict to Riot, they're from Carson City. They always take care of us when we go out to Reno. They book the shows for us, and they have a really big following there. And then every time we play there, their following's there. The people are just amazing, dude. The support there is crazy. It's different than home or other places that we've been. People buy a lot of merch and they want to talk to you, and they're open, and it's pretty cool. So there were about, I would say, like 200 to 300 people there.
Oh goddamn, that's a lot.
At that show, yeah, it was awesome. It was an outside show. It was great. It was really cool. But that's kind of one-offs, right? You don't always have 200 to 300 people there. So we were very grateful for that. But
hopefully down the line. Yeah.
I mean, shoot, I'd be happy with going on tour and having 50 people every night. I'll take that. Yeah. I'll take 20 people if they're going hard. That's cool. But we have a couple shows lined up. We got one June 9th in Fresno. I forget what it's some sort of fest. We got Tamerlane's going to be there, Mother Sound. I think Wolf King's playing. Some other bands, and then June 30th we're playing again with We Predict to Riot in Lake Tahoe. Nice. And then July, I think it's July 14th, I believe we're playing at X Bar with Endeavor.
Where's that at?
In Cupertino.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, there's stuff on the horizon. Definitely talking about doing a tour soon. I don't know about summer tour, maybe like a weekend runs and stuff like that. But really, we just got to write music, man. Like, I don't want to be one of those bands that only put something out every 2 years, which that's what we've been. so
2 years is still, still nice.
Yeah, it's still good. But
you guys aiming for a year?
So yeah, I mean, we want to have. I would like to release stuff every. Sorry,
someone farted really loud.
Yeah, I had Mexican food last night and this morning. I would like to put out songs every 3 to 6 months, like a song, I mean, there's a lot of different opinions, right? People think, you put out a whole album is a great idea, or you do an EP, and I honestly feel like nowadays people don't buy all your songs. I mean, you don't buy physical CDs, right? Unless they're at a show maybe or something. But they go on iTunes and they buy singles. They buy the songs that they like.
Yeah.
So personally, I think that it's better to release a song every couple months. That way they'll probably download it or they'll listen to it. And then the next song you release, the same thing. They'll download it again. They want to hear it. It's kind of like keeping them interested and pulling them along. The tough part, I guess, is keeping the production the same, right? Maybe if you record them all at once and then you kind of just drop them separately, then that would work. But because I don't think people, if you release 10 songs, they're always going to compare them to each other. They might download them all, but they're not going to like some of them. You know, that's fine. But if you do one at a time, maybe you have a better chance of being like, you know what, they might take more of an opportunity to listen to it, you know, and give you a more.
Never
of a
thought
chance.
about that.
So that's kind of what I think. But you know, of course, a band is a family, right? It's not just me; it's a democracy. So we gotta vote and figure out what's best for us. And you know, we're not planning on going anywhere soon or leaving anytime soon, so we'll be around.
I'm kind of sad about how that has happened to music. Because back in the day, you know, you'd buy an album, you listen to it front to back.
Yep.
And you know, you process the whole thing as a whole rather than individual songs.
Yeah.
I know that happened with the last Red Hot Chili Peppers album, for me at least. Because when they dropped Dark Necessities, I'm like, this is all right.
Yeah.
And then I listened to the whole album from front to back. I'm like, this is now my new favorite Chili Peppers album, like hands down.
Yeah, that's cool.
And like, I love that album now.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I think, especially for bands that really, they put their songs in a certain order to kind of tell a story sometimes, you know. That's really important, you know. And I'm the same way. Like, if somebody puts out a whole new CD or something, I listen to it front to back. You know, I want to do that. But a lot of people, I feel like, don't. But I don't know. I mean, kind of goes both ways, right? If you release one song, people like it, and they get tired of it after a month. So it's kind of a slippery slope. I don't know what's the best formula.
That's true.
But
yeah, especially with streaming services now.
Yeah.
Because people make their own playlists.
Yep. Yeah.
And, you know, maybe that one single is going to go on that playlist, not the whole album either.
Maybe. Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see. But I'm excited for the new stuff, man. I mean, it's kind of weird. Like, I haven't been practicing too much, but then when I do sit down and write stuff, I'm like, I feel like I didn't. It was good for me. I feel like I had newer ideas, you know, because sometimes you get writer's block where you're sitting there, you're playing every day, trying to force something. Yeah. But when you take some time away, I think it really helps, you know, and life experience too. Like, you're just in a different mindset. You know, I have a kid now, and you know.
You start writing songs about baby cribs.
Well, I don't do any lyrics, man. So you know, I just do the music part of it, the instrumental parts. You know, but it's kind of funny because my background for music is like different than the guys. You know, the rest of the band. They were all into like Green Day and punk and stuff like pop punk.
Have you heard their original sound when they were the Usuals?
Oh yeah, I love it, dude.
Right?
Daniel, I want him to sing like that again.
Dude, I remember when I first, I'm like, man, these guys are amazing.
Yeah, I agree. I was like, you know what? If this Decade thing doesn't work, we can go back to the Usual, and
that works.
But I don't know if they'd let me in because they're a three-piece. So hopefully, come on, guys, let me in. But yeah, I mean, their background was pop punk, and mine was straight like metal, like Metallica, you know.
Yeah.
But that actually didn't come until I got a little bit older. I was really into hip hop, Tupac, Bone Thugs and Harmony, you know, Richie Rich, and you know, all those dudes back in the day. And then once I hit 8th grade, my brother got the Metallica Symphony DVD for his birthday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then he showed it to me, and I was like blown away. I was watching Kirk Hammett play these solos and the sounds he was making and everything. I was like, it just blew my mind. Yeah. It blasted my mind. Didn't blow my anything can blow your mind. It just blasted my mind. That's a Russell Peters reference for y'all. Anyways, yeah, because I hated when I was younger. I hated anything with distorted guitar. I hated it.
Really?
Like, as soon as it came on, I'd be like, no, this is garbage. I'll turn it off. Believe it or not, my first cassette tape, anything.
Showing your age, Adam.
Yeah, my first cassette tape, man, was Garth Brooks. Believe it or not.
Wow.
And I listened to Thunder Rolls every day on my Walkman with my rollerblades, you know.
90s, man.
Yeah. And then I got a MC Hammer tape. But anyways, so going back to 8th grade, my brother got the S&M DVD. I watched it, freaking blew my mind. And then that was right when 8th grade was ending. So that was like, what, May or June or something like that. So my birthday was in July. So I asked my parents for a guitar. I did a little bit of research, and I found that Guitar Showcase in Campbell. They had this deal. You buy a guitar starter set, and then you get 6 months of lessons for free or something like that.
Oh, nice.
So I really pitched the lessons to my parents. Like, hey, if you get me this guitar, I get lessons for free. That way I can get better, and you don't have to listen to garbage. so
was it acoustic or electric?
It was electric.
Okay.
So luckily, my parents are amazing. They love me very much, and they were able to afford it. Luckily, they got me the guitar starter set, and you know, the crappy little amp that comes with it, Squier, you know, Telecaster, or not the, what do you call it, the
Bullet.
No, it was. Was it a Telecaster?
like a Starcaster.
No, it was a Telecaster.
Was it?
I don't remember. I know. Whatever. This was a long time ago. But I remember, like, dude, like a fish out of water. I held that thing. And I was like, I don't know what to do with this thing. I never played guitar in my life, you know?
I know the feeling.
Yeah. It's like, you know, growing up, I'd played saxophone in middle school. I played violin. But it's time to switch over to something. At the time, I thought I need something cool. I didn't think the other stuff was cool. But looking back, I should have continued saxophone and violin. That stuff's great.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I got the guitar. I ended up not going to one lesson. I mean, I didn't have a license, so it really wasn't my fault. My parents, I just never told them, like, hey, I want to do lessons. You know, they forgot about that part, I guess. So I just got a lot of books and listened to stuff and was kind of self-taught. And I tried to apply my violin theory that I knew to guitar, but I guess I was too young, or I didn't really understand. You know, I didn't read music or anything.
How old were you when you were playing violin?
Let's see. I did saxophone in 6th grade and violin 7th and 8th. So I don't know however old you are in 8th grade.
Yeah.
13
14.
Something like that, yeah. So I never learned how to read. I guess I did because it's treble clef, right? I learned I had violin skills and could play, but I didn't apply that to guitar. So I learned by ear, and then I went to high school. And that summer between 8th grade and high school, for some reason, I just decided that I wanted to play tennis too. So believe it or not, I played tennis in high school. So I was splitting my time between playing guitar and tennis. And then I met one of my best friends, Thomas Sabo, in my freshman year, and he played guitar. And he'd been taking lessons. So he kind of took me under his wing, and he was like showing me some stuff. I remember the first time he palm muted, I was like, what is that? Like, how do I make that sound? It's a palm mute, man. So, you know, he actually taught me a lot. And then we started our first band, man. It was called Left Hand Path back in, what was that, 2000 and, I don't know if I want to tell you guys, but I think it was 2003. No, 2001. Yeah, we started Left Hand Path. And so then I was, you know, band practice, splitting time between band practice and tennis. And then I was like, it was my sophomore year, still playing tennis, but practice took a lot of time, and we couldn't practice with the band because of tennis. And I thought to myself, what's going to help me more in life, playing tennis or playing guitar in a rock band?
You know, options, man.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I was a fork in the road, man. I was like, what am I going to do with my life here? So you know, I wasn't the best at tennis. I wouldn't say I was bad, but you know, so I would start sometimes, and other times I would sub. So I was like, I guess, middle of the road, you know, like right on the edge of being a bench player and a starter, right, I guess. So I decided, you know what, I don't really like tennis enough to not play music, because I was loving, you know, playing guitar. So then I quit tennis, started my junior year, and then just focused on the band. And so we played a lot of shows at San Jose State back in the day.
Oh, wow, yeah.
And we played the Campbell Gaslighter. Those were the days, man.
What kind of music?
It was metal, but it was actually instrumental. We didn't have a singer. Okay. So kind of like Sound Ray, like Ray Casares.
I gotta get him on here too.
Yeah, exactly. He just did a podcast with someone else. I forget what it was, but yeah. So it was instrumental. We did a lot of metal, you know, and I didn't play leads at all back then. So I would play all the rhythms, and then my buddy Thomas would play all the leads, and then our friend Garrett was a phenomenal drummer, you know, especially at his age. And then we would have like random people play bass for us. We didn't have bass players. So like somebody would be like, hey, you want to play bass? Like the day of a show, we'd be like, hey, we need a bass player.
Wow.
So like we'd teach them like root notes and here, play this. And then finally we met our friend Leah Tonti, that she was interested in playing music and stuff. So she actually played bass for us my senior year. And then we tried to dabble with the singer here and there. And so my friend Brian Spitzer did some vocals for us. It was like some screaming vocals. And then our friend Bobby Sheehan, who passed away, rest in peace, Bobby. Love you, miss you, man. He played bass and did some vocals for us back then too. And then our friend Brian Larson. Oh, shoot. I feel like a jerk right now. Brian Larson.
Sorry, Brian.
Yeah, I remember his last name's Larson. I can't remember his first name. Michael Larson. Duh. I'm sorry, Michael. I love you, man. I know a Brian Larson too.
He's gonna come out.
Yeah, he's
gonna come out for you.
Michael Larson. I'm sorry. a long time ago. He did some vocals for us too. It was kind of like a party band back then too. I mean, we played metal, but then like a lot of friends would come because we were just partying and hanging out, you know. So that band went on, and then graduated high school. We all went our separate ways. We decided, hey, let's try to come back in the summer and do Left Hand Path again. So after our freshman year of college, we came back, and it didn't really work out.
What happened?
People just had, they were busy. They were doing other things, staying, in San Luis Obispo or Pomona or wherever they were going to school.
Oh, okay.
So it didn't really work out, which was kind of a bummer because that was like my first love, right? My first
Oh,
band
I know
love.
what you mean. Yeah.
My family, it's all I cared about. We practiced at my parents' house. I took care of everything, and so that didn't work out. And then I felt lost, man. It was like, I'm not in a band anymore. I was like, what am I gonna do? So I talked to my friend Andrew Kutsenda, who I went to high school with. He started Pinup Productions back in the day.
Oh, wow.
So I would talk to him and be like, hey man, like if you know of any bands looking for guitarists, I'm totally down to try stuff out or play, So and I was down to play anything, mostly metal, but I'd play whatever. And so I was gonna try out for Redfall back in the day, but I did not. They wanted me to learn their songs. I didn't have any tab or anything. Back then people didn't really write tabs. Local bands anyway.
No chord charts?
No, that's not gonna help me. I don't know any theory, man. So, I hit them up on MySpace back then. I was like, hey, I'll try out for you guys. And so they told me to learn a song, but I never learned it, never tried out for them. And then same thing with The Subtle Way back in the day too.
Oh, that's all the way back then.
Yeah. But actually, they sent me tabs, and so I learned the song. But then I just never went over and did an audition or anything. But so it was like, I think the band broke up in 2006, and I was out of a band for maybe 4 or 5 months, and then I saw this band called Nothing Left. I think we had played with them back in the day at San Jose Skate. Not the new Nothing Left, not the For Today Nothing Left. This is the original Nothing Left that I was in back in the day. So they were a band from Santa Cruz, kind of screamo, sounded like Thrice, Silverstein kind of.
Okay.
And so I saw them on MySpace, and they were looking for a guitarist. So I hit them up, did an audition, got the job, or got the spot. And then that was my first band that I toured with, actually. It was only a week-long tour, but we got sponsored by Rockstar Energy Drinks somehow back then.
What did you get? Did you have the Rockstars?
Yeah, so many Rockstars, dude. It was crazy. And it was like, it was way different back then. Like all I did is I emailed Rockstar, and I'm like, hey, we're a band. How do we get into sponsorship, or who can we talk to? And this lady named Nicole, she's like, oh, sure, just send me your link. I sent her the MySpace link. She's like, okay, great. Where can I send the Rockstar? I'm like, oh, okay. So I gave her the address, but I ended up going and picking it up, and I got like, dude, a whole Yukon full, like a Suburban full of Rockstar. She's like, we'll give you all the Rockstar. We'll give you a banner, hats, stickers, and that was it. We didn't sign any contract. They just gave us all the Rockstar you could think of.
I miss the old days.
Yeah, dude, it was great. We were nobody, This is some small local band, and we got sponsored by Rockstar. It was cool.
If only you could put Rockstar in cars to fuel.
I know, right? Jeez. So we got that sponsorship. This is a long story, by the way, because I'm old dude. So
it's all good, man.
There's a lot to talk about. My journey's been long, yeah. So we got the Rockstar sponsorship with Nothing Left. We did a little run down the coast of California. We brought our van was half full of Rockstar, half of our equipment, and it was rough, man, because I was drinking so much Rockstar. That's like all I drank for a whole week.
No water.
Yeah.
Just
so
Rockstar.
I remember having to pee, and it hurt so bad.
Ooh.
It hurt so bad, and it was the exact color of Rockstar. It was like glow in the dark, man. It was crazy. It was bad. So after that, I took a break from drinking Rockstar. But so that band was great. I had a lot of experiences, recording, and it taught me a lot about being a little bit about being on the road. And and I'm still close. We're still friends with those guys. But it was just a different. I think people were just on different pages. And then so that band disbanded, and then I wasn't in the band again. And then I joined a band very briefly for a band called Bleed Pin. My friend Jason, he was in a band called 1,000 Kingdoms. And then they were doing Bleed Pin. So my old singer from Nothing Left, Brian, joined Bleed Pin. He got me kind of into that band. So I actually never played a show with them. We did practices and stuff, but then never played a show. So I wouldn't even know if you consider that being in the band. But that was real short. And then Nothing Left formed again, but with like original members. So Neil was the original guitarist of Nothing Left. He's the one that I replaced when I first joined. He was starting up Nothing Left. So then he asked me to fill in on the other spot. So then I joined Nothing Left again with like original lineup, but then different members. It was kind of strange. And so we did that. That was great. Wrote new songs. You know, I was freaking driving to Watsonville from Atherton every day, or not every day, but once a week. Doing that, and that was fun. That was good. Then that band broke up, and then what year was that? That was like 2007 or 8 or something like that. And then I was, you know, going to college and playing music, doing my own radio show actually at the time too. And that show was called The Naked Lunch Hour. That's because that's paying homage to this movie called Naked Lunch. And all I can remember from that movie is there's a typewriter that turns into a giant cockroach. That's the only thing I can remember from that movie. And for some reason, I wanted to call my radio show Naked Lunch. But
what station?
So that's the thing is, at Menlo they didn't have a station. It was online, or if you're on campus, you could listen to it through your TV. But we were still supposed to follow all the regulations, you know, cussing and all that stuff. But no regulations were followed. And I did that show with my buddy Thomas from Left Hand Path. I did that show for 3 or 4 years at Menlo, and actually, funny enough, I'm actually thinking about doing a podcast with doing that show again, but.
Nice.
I don't know if I have the time.
You're so busy, dude.
I'm so busy, man. Yeah, it's. I was talking to a friend about. She's like, "Oh yeah, you really like to stay busy, huh?" And I'm like, "I guess I do." You know, I whenever I have a free day, I'm like, "Oh yes, thank God, this is great." And all of a sudden, I'm sitting around and I'm like, "This is not that great." I feel like I'm wasting time. I could be doing something. You know, writing a song. I could be hanging out with people, whatever. Yeah. So. I did the radio show in college, and then let's see, I'm a little scattered here. Oh yeah, so after that band, Left Hand Path, or Nothing Left, the second time broke up, 2007 I think it was, or 8. 8. Yeah, 2008. Then I wasn't in a band for a little bit, just focusing on school, and you know. Then my buddy Dino, who was a DJ, who I went to college with, he knew these rappers that were like looking for a guitarist for this hip hop thing. And I'm like, oh, you know, whatever, I'll try it out. I'm down to play music with whatever. Yeah. So Dino introduced me to Travis Lindsley, Travis King, and Amazing. He went by Amazing back in the time, but Dwayne Mays. So I joined this hip hop group and started playing. Dude, that was one of my favorite times, man, playing music. Hip hop music, right? You play these clubs every night, especially, you know, your background, what you started with. Yeah, exactly, right? It was cool. So I met these dudes, and they had this label called Authentic Entertainment, and you know, there was some financial backing there. It was great. We had our own studio for a while, like, you know, we got great equipment, we got good shows. We played a lot of nightclubs like Wet and Studio 8 in San Jose, and you know, it's a little bit tricky though, because you play these shows right at a club, and there's going to be a lot of people there because it's a club, right? Yeah. But then you play at like midnight or 12:30, and then of course there's a lot of people there because it's a club. So you can't really tell are these people here for us, or are they just here to party? So really, I guess the gauge was how many people left while you played. That's kind of how you could tell. But I would say we were pretty successful. You know, we had some good videos out, played some good shows, and then that band was called Calico. So when I was in that band, I was still going to local shows, supporting the scene, you know, going out and seeing. I saw Dennis is Dead, you know, play. I was actually going to watch The Subtle Way at the venue in Los Gatos, and Dennis is Dead was playing that show. This is a long time ago. This is 2000, and I don't know, mid 2000, 2005 or 6 or something like that. And so I saw Dennis is Dead play, but they think they were a 4-piece then. It was just Ray playing guitar. And I was like blown away. I was like, man, these guys are freaking good. So I remember after their show, I talked to Ray. I'm like, dude, you killed it, man. You guys are great. And then I watched the Subtle Way play, and then kind of like out of sight, out of mind. I didn't see Dennis is Dead or anything like that. And so I joined Calico in 2009, I think it was, or 10, doing the hip hop thing. Then my friend Travis was like, hey, I'm going to have another guitarist come practice with us so we can have 2 guitars for a live show. I'm like, all right, cool. So then I get to practice. The garage door is opening up, and I see feet, legs, you know, raised. It was raised legs. I didn't know it was raised legs at the time, but I knew it was Ray because once you hit the ankle, I saw hair. And if y'all know Ray from back in the day, he had long ass hair.
I'm gonna have him take a picture of his legs when he gets here.
I mean, he had not long leg hair. He had long hair from his head. His hair was.
Oh, like, that yes. Now I know what you mean.
Not leg hair. No, I'm talking about his head hair. The head on his shoulders, not the other. Anyway, yeah, his hair was so long. So I remember the garage opening up, and I'm like, okay, there's a dude here. Whoa, there's I think I know who that is. But I saw the hair. I was like, I think I know. So the garage is opening up, and I see it, and it's freaking Ray from Dennis is Dead. And I'm like, I walk up to him, I'm like, hey, dude, like, I know you. You're from Dennis is Dead, right? And he's like, oh, yeah, he was cool. We were talking. And he ended up being in Calico for a little bit. And so we were playing around in the band in Calico, and then Dennis is Dead was having some, or their other guitarist at the time, Justin, was having some personal, family stuff going on and couldn't commit to the band and was just, he made a decision for himself. I don't know the situation, but he decided to step down. So Dennis is Dead, or so Ray asked, hey man, can you fill in for the show for us? So I said, dude, of course, yeah, I'll fill in. He's like, all right, great. It's in like, I think it was like 2 days or 3 days. I'm like, oh. I didn't know any of their songs or anything. So I think I had like 2 or 3 days to learn five songs for their set list. That was long nights. I didn't get any sleep. Not as long as having a baby, but
yeah,
pretty long nights. So I learned the songs. We played the show. It was freaking great. Met the guys. And then I was a fill-in for maybe one more show. And then, Justin decided to not be in Dennis is Dead. And then they asked me to be a full-time member. I think that was 2012.
Oh, wow.
And they asked me to be a full-time member. So, Calico was like pretty much 2010 to 12. And then I was officially in Dennis is Dead 2012. And so it's been a long journey. Calico broke up 2013, I think it was, and it was rough, I guess when you're in multiple bands, like, it's easy for you, right? Because you're like, oh, well, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm doing my thing. But if someone's not in multiple bands, it gets kind of blurry because they're like, hey, like, well,
what are you doing?
What are you doing? I want you to commit 100% to what I'm doing. I'm putting my heart and soul in this. I want you to do that.
It's a relationship.
Too. Exactly. So it's kind of like being, it's a lot of bands want you to be monogamous, right?
Yeah.
This is in Utah.
It's just a little band.
Yeah. So I was doing the Calico Dennis is Dead thing for a while. And then Calico, talked to me about it and was like, hey, like, we kind of want you to make a decision. And so that was one of the toughest things, man, because I loved my brothers in Calico and my brothers in Dennis is Dead, right? And I was trying to think, like, what's best for me? I can't think about what's best for them. I just got to be selfish a little bit and be like, what's best for me?
Tennis or guitar?
So, exactly. Another fork in the road, man. Another fork in the road. Do I want to play clubs, hip hop, or do I want to play metal, and like tour the grimy van lifestyle? So they did the same thing to Ray pretty much, and Ray decided to not do Calico, so he stepped down from Calico and just did Dennis is Dead because he'd been in Dennis is Dead for a while. And so since I had been in Calico first, my loyalty was like, man, I can't leave Calico. I feel like I'm a pretty loyal guy. So, I was telling Ray, I had a long conversation with Ray. I was like, hey, man, I don't even know if the other guys know this, but I talked to Ray and I'm like, I think I'm going to have to step down from Dennis is Dead. I can't leave Calico. They were first, So he understood. He was talking to me, but then so, I don't know. It's not luckily, but Calico broke up like right around that time. So I never had to make that decision. So, things kind of went south with Calico, just relationships weren't as strong, as they were. People decided to do their own thing. And so the studio that we had with Calico shut down. That was gone. It's called the Hendrix in Santa Clara. That was gone. Calico broke up. And then I saw Dennis is Dead. So if I would have picked, hey, Dennis is Dead, I'm out, I'm with Calico, like right on the spot, I don't know if I'd be in Dennis is Dead. So I don't know if they would take me back, So it worked out for me, I wish Calico was still around. It was great, but it worked out for me. I didn't have to make the decision. It was made for me. And then Dennis is Dead was there. And then, a lot of things have happened since then.
Now you're decades in.
And now we're decades in.
All right. Yeah. Quick recap. Can you list all the bands in order? Chronological order.
Yes. So I was in Left Hand Path first. That's easy. And then after that, I was in Nothing Left. And then for like a smidge, I was in Bleed Pin. We never played a show, but with Brian and Jason, and then Nothing Left again. And then after Nothing Left, that broke up. I was in. Oh God, I just remembered. I played drums for this band called Kristen Bathory. It was like Marilyn Manson-ish type music. I don't know if this is I mean, I played drums. We did one show, I think, with my buddy Thomas again, and then a friend of mine, Garrett Gazet. So I guess that was after the second Nothing Left. And then I'm not much of a drummer. I mean, I dabble, but I'm not a drummer. I can hold a beat, I guess. So then after that, I was in Calicove. And then from Calicove, Dennis is Dead. And then Dennis is Dead changed to Decades In.
Damn.
Yeah.
What a resume.
It's been it's been great, highs and lows, but there's no regrets, right? I mean, I learned tons of stuff from all those bands, and I'm still friends with everybody, I might not see a lot of people still, but, that's the beauty of social media and Facebook. He's still, my friend Brian has a kid now, and, good to see him. He got married, and yeah, man, it's been good. It's been really good. Damn. And I'm just glad that I am where I am. I'm in a really good spot,
Yeah.
And it was a little bit scary for a time when Dennis is Dead. We got signed to Negative Progression in 2012, and then we started touring and stuff. And that was that's the best time of my life. Like, touring is the best. I know some people complain about, you don't shower a lot, you don't get paid, you don't eat. What else? What else is bad? You don't get to go to the bathroom in a nice place. You got to use truck stops and Walmarts and. But I don't care about all that, man. That's the best. Especially because we're such a tight group. They're my brothers, regardless of whatever happens with music, they're still my brothers. So it was a little bit scary when Ray was going to step down. We started touring, and then we actually got in a pretty bad van accident.
I remember that.
Yeah, that was 2012, actually.
Was it 2012?
I believe so, yeah.
Damn.
We were driving back from Vegas, and we had a trailer. So actually, Josh, our bass player, his mom and her boyfriend Tony came to the show in Vegas, and then we were leaving Vegas. So Tony and Janet, Josh's mom and mom's boyfriend, had a rental car, and they were driving in front of us, and then pretty far ahead. I mean, they weren't waiting for us. We're driving the van. We get past Lost Hills. So I know a lot of you touring bands know Lost Hills because that's the kind of the pit stop on 5 when you're going over the Grapevine. Anyways, we stopped at Lost Hills, got really crappy food, started driving home, and this is probably, I don't know, 12 o'clock, midnight or something. And I'm driving, and we hit this huge ass pothole, and our axle breaks on our trailer. I pull over. We get the tow truck to come. They load up the trailer, and then we go to the next stop. So we're following the tow truck, and we pull over to some gas station. And the guys, we told them just to leave the trailer there because there was no shops open at that time. But I was like, man, we can't leave our equipment here. This is in the middle of nowhere. What if somebody jacks all of our stuff, Yeah. So we called Janet. She turned around with Tony, and they brought the car back, and we said, hey, we're going to take all the stuff out of the trailer and put it in the van. So we took all the seats out of the van, put the seats in the trailer, because if somebody jacks that sucks, but it's not our gear. We put all the equipment in the van. I think there was only one row in there, so it was the 2 front seats and then 1 row, and then all the equipment. Luckily, we had a lot of cases and stuff, so everything fit pretty nicely. But we didn't have room for everyone, right? So we had our drummer Michael go with Janet and Tony in the car. They go, so there's Ray driving. I'm in the passenger seat, and then Josh and Daniel are in the bench seat in the back, sleeping or whatever they're doing, snuggling. So we're driving home. It's 3 a.m. Easter Sunday, 2012, and everyone's tired. I mean, the 2 guys in the back are asleep, and I'm kind of dozing off, but I'm trying to stay awake with Ray because I'm the co-pilot, So we're driving. It's 3 a.m. and then all of a sudden, I believe, if I remember correctly, we were in the lane next to the fast lane. There was a truck in front of us, like a pickup truck, I think, and all of a sudden it freaking swerves out of the way, and it swerved because there was a car stalled in this lane next to the fast lane with no lights on, just a car sitting there.
That's horrible.
And yeah, horrible. And Ray, he wasn't driving very fast. We were cautious. He's going maybe 60. So we see that the truck swerve, and I'm kind of I saw it happen, but it's just so quick. You don't really remember.
You don't really remember.
Yeah, exactly. So then Ray, he's like, I think he says, well, I'm not gonna cuss, but SHIT. He's like, oh
cuss.
shoot, yeah, oh shit, and so he goes to swerve to the left, and we crash into this car at like 60 miles an hour, this parked car on my side, on the passenger side. And all I remember is I had my seatbelt on. Luckily, the airbag pops out. So I remember like this huge bang and this loud bang and this like pressure. And then all of a sudden, as it's all happening, I'm kind of in a daze. He hits the car on the front passenger side of the van. And then when he does that, we're going towards the median. So then he swerves to the right to not hit the median. Mm-hmm. But when he does that, we flipped over on the driver's side. And I'm hanging there in the passenger seat with the seatbelt, and I'm looking down, and I freaking see sparks and like broken glass and this loud screeching, all these noises. And Ray's holding on the steering wheel, and his freaking arm is getting all like road rash because the window busted out. And in that, didn't last very long, but in that time too, I remember thinking like the guys in the back aren't wearing seatbelts. Josh and Daniel are asleep, and they're not wearing seatbelts. And believe it or not, actually, I also thought about Cliff Burton from Metallica. When he passed away, I from what I've read, he fell out. Half of his body, I think, fell out of the window as the bus fell over. Mm-hmm. So that actually crossed my mind. Believe it or not, it was really scary. So I think Josh was leaning his back against the window. Daniel was kind of sleeping on him. Mm-hmm. So when we rolled on that side, Josh's back is on the glass, which shattered. So he's getting road rash on his back, and Daniel is just laying on top of him. So this whole thing didn't last very long. It was quick, but it felt like forever. It felt like we slid for 100 yards, man. Mm-hmm. But it was probably like maybe 20 yards, maybe. So we come to a stop, and I'm hanging there with the seatbelt on. I unbuckle my seatbelt, and then I'm standing in the van with my head above my head is the passenger seat door, right? Because the van's on the driver's side. It's leaned over on that side. And Ray gets up, and like everyone's adrenaline's pumping, right? And so like I think it was our hazard lights that were on, and the smell, it smelled like just weird chemicals, and like something was burning. And so Ray, I believe, he thought that the van was on fire. So he started to like freak out. Yeah. He started, I think he was punching and kicking the windshield because I tried to open the passenger door above my head and it wouldn't open. So he started like kicking the glass, and Josh is already standing up next to me at that point. Luckily, he had road rash, but they were alive. Everybody was alive. Yeah. So Josh helps me. We push the passenger door open above my head, and it was quick, man. By the time I started to climb out, there was already police and ambulance there. Mm-hmm. It was really, really quick. So we all climb out. Luckily, everybody's alive. Bruised up, scratched up, hurt, but we're alive. And we all climb out. And everyone's emotions are running high. Everyone's pissed, and like. So then, somehow I didn't lose my cell phone. I think it was in the cup holder. So I don't remember. I had it somehow. So I called Michael to tell him, hey man, we just got in a van accident. Like, so I call him, he answers, and I'm like, I'm shaking because of my adrenaline, and I'm like, dude, we need you to come back. We flipped the van. We crashed. And if you know me, I'm a pretty big jokester. Mm-hmm. So Michael was like, whatever, man. He hangs up on me. He hung up on me. He hung up on me because I told him that we crashed and flipped the van. He hung up on me. And I remember having the phone in my hand, looking at the guys that are there, and I'm like, he hung up on me. He hung up on me. So then I don't know who else. Somebody else called him. It might have been Daniel. Called him and told him. And then he's like, then at that point he realizes that it's real, right? So they were already home. I think we were in I think it was 580 and I don't know what. We were pretty close to home. We were probably like 30 minutes from being home. Mm-hmm. So Janet, Tony, and Michael would come racing back. We're standing on the side of the road, and there's just like debris everywhere. Our equipment actually didn't even fly out of the van. It stayed all intact, but there was some clothes and stuff. And actually, there were a lot of broken Corona bottles because we had some beers in the very back of the van. Nobody was drinking. Mm-hmm. This is from like when we were in Vegas. We were just bringing them home. Mm-hmm. But it looked bad. There's broken Corona bottles on the street, right? Yeah. So then they made Ray do a sobriety test with his arm all jacked up, but he was fine. He wasn't drinking. And then the lady that we hit, I don't think she had an airbag because I didn't see one in her car, but her nose was all busted up. She was sitting in her car when we hit her. And so, they took her away, and I'm assuming she survived. We didn't hear anything. I pray to God that she survived and was okay. But yeah, so we're standing there, all the debris on the side of the road, and then the ambulance comes. They're checking out Josh. They put him in an ambulance. They put Ray. I believe they put Ray in an ambulance too. But Daniel was bruised, but like not cut up or anything because he was landing on top of Josh, right? And we're sliding. And same thing with me. Like I had a seatbelt bruise.
Oh yeah.
My face burned from the airbag.
Ooh, I didn't know that could happen. Friction?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Damn.
My face burned from the airbag, but I don't remember having any cuts or anything. So very, very lucky. It could have been way worse, man. So then Janet drives me, Michael, and Daniel to the hospital to follow the guys. We all go to the hospital, and I called my fiance, or she wasn't my fiance at the time, just my girlfriend, Jamie, my wife now, my girlfriend. I called Jamie, and I'm like, hey, I just told her, I had my nerves that kind of calmed down. I told her, hey, we got in a van accident. She's like, oh my God, you want me to come? And I'm like, no, it's cool. Like, we're all right. So then looking back, I think I was still in shock because now my level-headed self now would definitely be like, hey, come to the hospital. So I told her like, no, we're fine. But she ended up coming anyway. She's like, no, I can't sleep. I'm going. So she gets there. She calls my family. The whole family comes. And like looking back, I'm glad everyone was there because I needed that support. You know, it was. Yeah, I remember when Janet came initially. After she turned around, you know, and came after the accident, I just like saw her. I hugged her and I cried. I just like so much emotion going through me. That like being grateful that we're alive, scared because my brothers got hurt, you know, and like, you know, so it was a pretty emotional time, but I'm very grateful that everyone survived, everyone was okay, and so after that happened, everyone recovered. It was Easter Sunday, you know, everyone went through separate ways, recovered. We got a new van, we did some more touring, we're good, and then I'm not sure. You know, I haven't talked to Ray about this, but I think all of us were definitely affected from that, except for Michael. He was. But
I think Michael freaked out too. Well, I think because I talked to him a little bit about it. I wouldn't say he had survivor's guilt, but you know, just like a little bit.
Sure. Yeah. You're right. Actually, you know what? I take that back. I remember him saying something about that he almost felt guilty because he wasn't there. Like we went through this traumatic experience and he wasn't in there. Yeah. And like. I mean, I'm glad he wasn't. I don't want him to go through that, but I get what he's saying. You know, like when your family goes through something, you want to go through it with them so you can, you know.
Yeah, be there for them.
Yeah. So I get that.
I mean, I just got in an accident too.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, that's right. I saw it.
Yeah.
Dude.
I got to get a lawyer.
So you're going to retire now?
I'll tell you, if it was my fault, I'll blink twice. Because I don't know, like I'm not sure if I'm supposed to be, you know, not talking about it or whatnot. Sure.
So I mean, what's your name again? John Smith, right? This is John Smith podcast. Got in an accident.
Dude, yeah, like because everything you're saying is just very relevant to me right now.
Yeah, man.
I mean, look, you know, I'm walking.
Yeah.
You know, I went to work.
Yeah.
2 days after, I took 1 day off. But it's scary, dude. Like that adrenaline pumping and just like you just want to cry.
Yeah, exactly. It just takes over you. You know, your whole body. I feel like that's kind of like the realist that you are, right? In those kind of moments. Yeah. You know, when something traumatic happens or something unexpected happens, how you react to me is like what that's your true self, right?
Mm-hmm. That's very true.
You know, so I mean, I'm not ashamed. I cried, man. I was scared. I was sad. You know, I was a lot of things. But so after you know, we got the new van, everyone recovered. You know, I still to this day, like I get car sick. Like I always got car sick before, but I get really car sick, like easy now, when I'm a passenger in someone's car. So I'm assuming that's from the accident or something, you know. Mm-hmm. And then for a little bit after that, you know, when we were touring, I know that Ray was having some experiences where, you know, anytime we'd brake kind of hard or the wind would kind of hit us hard and the van moved, he would like, you could tell, you know, everyone's on edge, you know, not just Ray, everybody. Well, not Michael. Michael was like, no one wanted to drive at night. Michael's like, I don't get it. No, I'm just kidding. Michael does most of the night shifts anyway, but still, you know, everybody was kind of on edge. And it took a little bit of time for us to kind of get back on our feet and, you know, but the support we got from everyone was great. And then a couple, you know, some time went by. I believe it was 2015 when Ray decided to step down from the band. He was doing his own thing, you know. He was interested in doing a lot of the stuff that he's doing now, like video game music, which is freaking incredible. Yeah. He's got 1 Minute Melee, dude. That guy's killing it. He's doing great work. We just saw him too. He came with us to Carson City for our show this last weekend. It was good to see him.
Yeah.
But so Ray stepped down, and that was a scary time for me because I'm like, this could really change a lot of things. You know, we're gonna have to find a new member, or are we gonna go for a 4-piece? You know, we've been seeing a lot of bands do the backing guitar track. You know, and it's cool, but like I've also heard bad things. Like, I mean, of course, things can go wrong where your technology doesn't work. And then there's some people that just don't like it. They feel like it feels like a computer. It doesn't feel authentic. But I mean, all the stuff we recorded, I mean, it's us playing. It's just no mistakes, right? It's recorded. But so Ray stepped down. I think for a little bit we were like, maybe we will get another guitarist. Our friend Jesse Kuiper, who used to play for the Human Contortion, helped us a lot. He filled in. He helped us write. He helped us record. You know, we owe a lot to that guy. He definitely just jumped on board and just helped us. You know.
Yeah.
But we were like, well, I don't know. Like, it's nothing against Jesse at all. We love him. You know, we always have and always will. We just weren't sure. Like, I think we're gonna go as a 4-piece instead of a 5-piece. Instead of adding a new member, it might just be easier to just keep the guys that we have now. So, you know, Jesse's very talented. You know, it's nothing about his talent or anything like that. No disrespect at all. We talked to him. He, you know, we're good. He understands. You know, it was a fill-in for us for a little bit, and then ultimately we decided just to do a 4-piece. You know, it would save us a little bit of room in the van on tour. You know, and then yeah, so that's what we decided. We did the 4-piece thing. We're still doing it. I don't think we have any plan on adding another guitarist in the future. Damn. So you know, it was really nice though, really flattering, man. Like, because when we announced that Ray was out, people were hitting us up, hey, you know, I'll play for you, which is amazing, right? Yeah. It's great. But we really appreciated that. But no, we decided to just, you know, do the 4-piece thing, keep it in house. And so now we're here. We recorded in Portland, and that CD's the self-title has been out for almost 2 years, I think. 2016 we released it.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 years. So it's been some time. I know you guys are jonesing for some new music, so we'll be putting some stuff out soon.
Yeah, because both music videos dropped last year, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Those are fun.
Yeah. Oh my God, so much fun.
A lot of people don't know that I worked on those.
Yes.
Yeah.
You were there for Inner Circle, man. I was like,
hell yeah, dude.
That's great. I love doing the music videos. It's so much fun to me.
They are. I love working with Michael. I gotta talk to him about that because it was. What I've noticed with doing projects and stuff like that, you got to have one dude who knows what, you know, in charge.
Yeah.
When you got too many cooks in the kitchen, it's just not fun.
Yeah.
It's just not. And so, like, it was fun to just be like, all right, Michael, just tell me what needs to be done.
Yeah.
And be like, all right, let's do it. Let's make something cool in your vision because you know what, you got a cool mind, and I want to see it, come to fruition.
Yes, he does. Michael is very talented. You know, he's got so much creativity in there. You know, I was a little bit bummed when he decided to take some time off from doing any film. He's doing a lot of writing right now.
Oh yeah.
But I'll let you know. If you have him on your show, he can tell you all about it because I don't know too much about it. But he's doing a lot of writing, and he's just got this expanded mind, right? I mean, he's like.
He's out. He's. Oh my God.
Alien. I remember when I first met Michael, I'm like, aliens. That's all he wanted to talk about with me. You know, and that's great. I love aliens too. Yeah. But Michael's you know, really intelligent, and he's got awesome different views, you know, and he really just doesn't say stupid shit, you know. He like thinks about what he's gonna say, and like it's real articulate, and so he would be a great person to have on this show, man. He's
Dylan.
Yeah.
I should have them both on.
Be careful.
Oh yeah. I'd be like, dude, I'll just stand here and listen. Fuck this.
Exactly. But Michael's a huge fan of Howard Stern. I love Howard Stern. So when we're on the road, I fall asleep instantly in the passenger seat. I'll fall asleep anywhere really, but I'll fall asleep as I'm driving, man. I can't. So my secret is Sunflower Seeds and Howard Stern. Michael always listens to Howard Stern, but I'll ask him to put it on for me too, to help keep me awake. And you know, that show, I mean, I know a lot of people think Howard Stern's whatever. They think he's not good, but I love him. I think that he, especially now, you know, his interviews are great. You know, he really asks relevant questions, and you know, people really open up to him. So I think you can learn a lot from listening to that from the guests on his show and from him. So Michael kind of has that same thing. You know, he thinks about stuff a lot, and has really awesome opinions and views. So I love chatting up with Michael on those long drives. It's great,
dude. Yeah, because I remember we went to LA to go do some filming.
Yeah.
Fucking, he's fun. He's fun.
Yeah, he is.
I miss him.
Yeah. So hit him up, man. I'm sure he's down.
Hell yeah, dude. Like, bring bring your sacred geometry book.
I know, right?
He's like, read this. I'm like, okay.
Chariots of the Gods. And that's how I learned about Giorgio Tsoukalos from Michael. Puma Punku. God.
Oh my God.
It's great, dude.
So, you have a good insight on businesses, especially going with music and thing. Is there any advice you give to people out there, like when starting their own business or doing stuff like that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like anything you decide to do, you just got to hit the ground running, man. You just do it. Like if you don't know something, how are you going to learn? Like you learn by doing, right? You just got to you got to find mentors, right? You got to find people you look up to that are doing it already. And I'm not saying you don't copy them, but you learn just like with music. When you learn music, you learn cover songs. You like, oh, I like that guitarist. I'm gonna learn his songs and play like that. So just like in business, if you're gonna do, well, let's just say a clothing company, you're like, well, I love Nike. Like, well, why do you like Nike? You like their message? Do you like their clothes? What do you like about it? You like their color combinations? Then you're like, well, I like the simplicity. Okay, that's cool. We'll make us design this simple. But then you can't copy people, right? You got to you just get these ideas from all these places. It's really hard to be original nowadays, but it's still possible. So, you just got to find mentors. You got to find companies that you aspire to be like, and that's okay. I think it's okay to make a product that's similar to something else, because it's like respect. You're like, hey, you know what? That product's freaking great. Like, I want to do something like that too. So, just learning by doing, you just, like graphic design, I've been dabbling in that a little bit. I've never been trained on Photoshop or whatever. So I watch videos on how to learn, and even someone else's logo, let's say Coca-Cola for some reason, I'll try to make that in Illustrator or Photoshop just to practice my skills. Be like, well, how do I make this curve? How do I do that? And so I'm not making Coca-Cola logos for myself. I'm just learning it to learn how to use a program, right? And how to make those shapes and how to oh, look at their design. That's a cool idea. The way they did, I don't know, an outline here, or different color schemes. And then you just make it into your own, just like anything really. With the music, you listen to bands, you write stuff that sounds similar, but it's still got your own flavor, your own twist because of your own experiences and your own, learnings and stuff. So I would just say whatever you decide to do, you just don't give up, just keep trying. And, really at the end of the day, who cares what anybody else says? If it makes you happy and you're not breaking the law, right? You're not hurting anyone. You do what you want to do and you just live life, right? It's too short to worry about other people's opinions, So I love business, right? I'm always trying to think of ways to make money and even if I can't make money, I don't want to lose money, but if it doesn't cost me anything or if I break even and it's fun, let's do it, man. Let me try it, So, and I think it's good to have your hands in a lot of different things,
I feel like,
in different businesses or just different ideas, different projects.
You'll learn from you take one thing from another project and you interject it to what you're trying to do.
Yeah. So, just staying busy, and that's the key is it's like doing a lot of reading too, actually. I do listen to a lot of audiobooks, not podcasts, audiobooks now, or I used to when I was taking the train to work, but now that I'm riding my bicycle, I don't really listen to too many audiobooks. It's not safe, I don't think, to not be able to hear traffic around you, especially with these damn Teslas and
silent cars.
I can't hear shit out there.
You have any books to recommend?
So there's a book called The 5-Second Rule by Mel Robbins that I just listened to. And it sounds so simple, right? When people think of the 5-second rule, they think of food. I dropped my food on the ground. I got 5 seconds to pick it up, right? But then I make it the 10-second rule. But and so she talks about when you decide to do something, or if you get stuck in a rut, right? So let's say right now you're like, I gotta do laundry. You sit there and you're like, and all of a sudden before you know it, time passes, you didn't do laundry. So the 5-second rule is taking an action. So you literally count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go, and then you do it. You can count as fast as you want, slow as you want. I mean, I wouldn't do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 across an hour, but sometimes you just got to do it quick. It just depends on what the situation is. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go, and then you got to take that step, physically make that move to complete that action. So she talks about she started doing it just to wake up early in the morning. So she would put her cell phone in a different room when the alarm goes off. To turn it off, you got to get up to go turn it off, right?
Yeah.
So she would do that, and she would lay in bed, and she's like, "This is terrible. I don't want to wake up." But she would count in her head 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then go, and you got to do it. You get up, And of course it's hard at first, and then it gets easier over time. So you start with these little things like getting up early, or like I gotta do laundry, or I gotta mow the lawn, or whatever it is. And it just snowballs into this positive influence that you become on everyone else and yourself, because you're taking action and you're getting stuff done. Like if somebody calls and you're like, oh, I don't want to talk to this person, I'm just gonna send them a voicemail, I'll call them later. Why not just do it now? You're gonna have to do it eventually, right?
Yeah.
So as they're calling, you just count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, bam, answer it. Take that
hung
step.
up.
Yeah. Or if they hang up, that's what I'm saying. It's all situational. You can't count too long. So that book was amazing. It really opened my eyes. I'm like, man, like I can do this. I can really do this. So I started doing that. Going to the gym in the mornings was getting hard. So I would count down on my head, do it, go. Because if you don't do it, you feel worse, right?
Yeah.
Or not just the gym, but anything. So I really started doing that, and I've kind of gotten a little bit off of it. But if you really stick to it and do it, and you're honest with yourself and true, like it really makes a difference, with everything,
I think the hardest part with at least doing anything, at least in my opinion, is actually like knowing yourself and being true to yourself.
Yeah.
So once you start telling yourself lies and shit, it's game over,
It spirals out of control, man.
It does.
Yeah. That's terrible. And for a lot of things, I recommend, having mentors and having a coach, for things. And it doesn't have to be a life coach or whatever, but like right now for me, I'm trying to get in the gym seriously. And I'm not no bodybuilder or like anything like that. I'm just trying to be in good shape, and of course a lot of people know what to do, what to eat, what to do, but they just don't do it, right? And they make excuses for themselves, like, oh, I'll just have a little piece of brownie right here, or let me just I could do one more set. Nah, I'm kind of tired, I'm not gonna do it. So I think for some people, for me, I need that coach, I need that person pushing me. So a high school friend of mine, Amy, and her husband Matt, they started a company. It's offline right now, but they're going to launch in a little bit. But they actually live in Colorado, but they're into fitness and inspiring people. And like Matt is a fitness coach, nutritionist. So he does competitions in bodybuilding and stuff. He hasn't done it in a while, but he's doing it again for the first time in 7 years. He's going to be a Mr. Colorado, hopefully. Anyways, that's not my goal. I'm not trying to be like that, but I just want to be healthy and fit. So I'm working with him to just keep myself accountable. Have someone that I check in with once a week and be like, hey, how are your meals this week? How are your workouts? And yeah, I mean, I could lie, but why am I'm paying this money? Why am I going to lie, right? It's wasting my time.
What's the point?
Yeah, exactly. What's the point? So I'm really excited for this. I'm starting hopefully in this next month with him, next week or so, and do that. And we'll see. I'm going to try it for 90 days. That's why I told myself I'm going to do 90 days, because I feel like anything you want to try, you don't really know if you like it or not unless you do it for 90 days.
Yeah.
You're not going to see a difference until you do it for 90 days. And for me, that's how I feel for anything. So I'm going to try it, so I'm not saying to try cocaine or PCP or heroin, I'm not talking about that.
I got a similar story. No, just my mom would always make fun of me when I was little, because like I would eat something and I'd be like, eat the whole thing. I'm like, that wasn't so good. She's like, then why'd you eat it all? I'm like, you gotta eat the whole thing. You can't judge from one bite.
That's exactly right. Overall, I didn't like it, but that first bite was okay. That's actually, no, never mind. I had a brownie like that the other day, but a regular brownie. But
like, this is good. And
yeah, the initial bite was good, but the aftertaste was bad. So overall, I didn't give that brownie a very good score.
Did you eat the whole brownie?
I did eat. No, I did not actually. I just had a piece.
Who knows? You might have enjoyed it if you ate the whole thing.
Yeah, damn it. You're right. Yeah. So 90 days. I'm gonna try it, and we'll see what happens. And then I honestly feel. I mean, if even without a coach, if you are strict with your diet, you're strict with working out, you're gonna see a change. Like it's impossible to not. So I just got to be true to myself, and I'm excited because I think Matt will do that for me.
I think a lot of us are also impatient, especially how everything's been, how we, you stream anything you want, you could DoorDash whatever you want. We're very, Amazon 2-day shipping. Yeah. We're very instantaneous now as a culture and society, but what we've forgotten, shit takes time, dude.
Yeah.
Shit takes time. I mean, like, if you believe in evolution or whatever, we took us a long ass time to get here, right?
That's exactly right. Yeah.
2,000 years ago, where were we at? We weren't the people we are now.
Yep.
Movies take a long time to film. I mean, just everything takes fucking time.
Humans,
yeah.
When you're born, you're not like running around like a deer or like any other animal.
Yeah.
It takes time for you to learn and grow. I mean, you didn't come out like this.
Dear God.
I hope no one did. But yeah, so I forgot what we're talking about. But
It's all good. I love these conversations, dude. Did I tell you the name of the podcast? Audiolosophy.
Oh wait, yeah, I did.
Yeah, okay.
I did. That's right.
So
yeah,
essentially, I just talk about everything, music related or audio related.
Yeah.
And just, anything that comes, the way it works. That's why, I asked you about the business stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Not a lot of people know that side. They'll just be like, oh, the music will carry us.
Yeah. And if anyone has, questions or whatever, man, I'm an open book. I consider myself an open book, like with anything, not just business, life in general. People want to ask me something, I'll be open and honest with you. So, if anyone has questions about whatever, about business, anything, feel free to hit me up. I'm sure Sergio can put my info in the link, whatever, and you can email me, message me, whatever. I'm down to help
Contact at AdamMontez.com.
Yeah, exactly right. It's Adam D. Montez.
Oh, okay.
Adam D. Yeah.
Damn, dude, you busy fool. But so I did send you a questionnaire.
Yes, you did.
I will go through that later and just kind of make a playlist.
All right.
Or if you want, throw some songs that you want on a playlist that represent you.
Hey, man, anything for System of a Down.
Are you going to what's that festival?
Aftershock?
Yeah, Aftershock. You're going to Aftershock?
I don't have tickets. I want to go.
You should.
I should go.
You should go.
Because System of a Down is my favorite band of all time.
Yeah.
They, like, if I wasn't in Dennis is Dead or Decades In, if I was making a new band, that's the kind of music I would make right now. Is System of a Down.
You're gonna hate me.
Why?
I just started listening to System of a Down.
No, that's fine with me. At least you're listening. I thought you were gonna say you don't like them. Then I would hate you.
They're fun. They're amazing, dude. I'm like, this is tight. Why did I get into it?
Dude, to me, dude, honestly, I hated them when I first heard them in high school. Yeah, I was like, this is terrible.
What is this?
But they, to me, it's like, how could you not have a good time listening to that music?
Yeah.
It's like party metal, kind of. I mean, like, their voices are kind of funny, but then they sing well and they scream. Like, the riffs aren't technical, but they sound good.
Mm-hmm.
The drums are good. I mean, I just get so much energy from listening to them. Like that. Yeah, that's definitely a band that I want to start a band like that someday.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just be a System of a Down cover band. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Because me and my girl were planning on going, but we weren't sure if we wanted to see System or Incubus, and so I put them on. I'm like, well, fucking System of a Down, dude.
Yeah, for sure, man. I've seen them twice. Great shows.
Right.
Yeah, so much fun.
Yeah, I highly recommend tickets, dude. If you're gonna, because I don't know if they're gonna be playing. I wonder if they just came back for this and.
Yeah, they played the Hollywood Bowl a couple years ago in LA, and I didn't go to that. I should have gone to that. Man. But I think I've only learned a couple of their songs over all these years. Toxicity I learned, and Aerials, but yeah, like they get me pumped.
So in the whole questionnaire thing, I saw that you got kicked out or banned from a strip club.
Oh man. Yeah. So this is not the same Vegas tour or trip that we took where we crashed. This is a different one. And it's kind of funny because usually we're on the road for Michael's birthday, which is around Halloween time. And so we played in Vegas. We had a day off. And so we're like, we're going to party. I think it might have been Michael's birthday, actually. I think it was. And so we were drinking, and me and Josh hit the strip, and the rest of the guys are kind of taking a nap. Me and Josh are in, I think we were at Flamingo. So the guys hit us up. They're like, hey, where you guys at? We're like, oh, we're at Flamingo. So they're like, fine, we'll meet you guys there. And as soon as I hang up the phone, because we were staying at Luxor, it's way down at the end of the strip. So as soon as I hang up the phone, though, I told Josh, I was like, let's go to Fremont Street. So, I'm pretty sure it was with Josh. So then Josh and I get a cab to Fremont Street, but we didn't tell the other guys. So then they get to Flamingo, and they're like, where are you guys at? And I'm like, I'm at Fremont Street. Just being a drunk asshole,
Yeah.
And so then they're like, God damn. So then they end up coming. They meet us at Fremont Street. And if you know Michael, he likes the ladies. he likes to party. So it was like Michael's birthday, like let's go to a strip club, and I'm like, there's a tour footage on YouTube. I forget which one it is, but there is some footage of this, and I'm like, I don't have any money. Like I can't go to a strip club. I'm broke.
Yeah.
We're on tour. I bought drinks. I can't spend money. So the guys are like, well, we're gonna take a limo there.
Was that you popping out of the moonroof?
No, not that time. So if I remember correctly, we took a limo to the strip club, and I don't know if I want to say the name, but I don't think it's there anymore. Actually, it was the biggest strip club in Vegas, or maybe the second biggest, but I don't think it's open anymore. Starts with an S, but ends with an I. So we go to the strip club, and then I mean, I don't. That's not really my thing, you know. Like I'll go sometimes because Michael likes to party, so I'll go with him sometimes, or for my bachelor party, you know, I went stuff like that. But I don't really go ever. So we go, and like I didn't really want to be there. I had already been drinking, and I was like, whatever. We're sitting there, and I wanted to get out of there. So the first girl that comes sits on my lap. I had $20 left. That's all I had. She sits on my lap, and I'm like, hey, it's my drummer's birthday. Like, I want to buy him a lap dance. So she's like, oh, okay, no problem. So I give her the money. And then she goes and sits on on Michael's lap, and like just like sitting there just talking. She didn't tell him that I bought him a lap dance. She was just sitting on his lap. So then I guess she was not Michael's type. Michael has a specific type, and he will wait all night long until that girl is available. He's very picky. So I guess she was not his type. It was dark in there. I don't know. But anyways, so Michael's like, oh, she's sitting on his lap, and she's like, oh, do you want a lap dance? He's like, maybe later. He's still a nice guy. He says maybe later. So he gets up, goes to the bathroom, comes back, and he's telling me, later on, he tells me this. He's like, I come back from the bathroom, and she's sitting in my fucking seat. She's still sitting there. So I'm like, oh, whatever. So he goes and sits down, and this is all secondhand, like after the fact, because I don't remember this happening. It's too much adult beverage at this point. So Michael goes back to his seat, and she's like, sits on his lap again, and he's in his head, he's like, oh man, like, what's this girl doing here? I want to leave. I don't want her. So then she's like, are you sure you don't want a lap dance? And he's like, oh no, I'm good. And then she says, oh well, your friend bought it for you. And so Michael's like, okay, fine, it was free. I mean, he's not gonna turn down a free lap dance. So he gets the lap dance, and after he's done, he walks up to me and he looks at me and he's like, dude, why'd you get me that girl? Why'd you get me that? And I was not in a clear state of mind. I was drinking, and I didn't want to be there already. No excuses. But then I looked at him, and I was so pissed, dude. Like I reacted. I was so mad because I was like, I didn't want to be here. So I looked at him, and for some reason I said, you appreciate that shit. Because in my head I'm like, I fucking bought you a lap dance. It doesn't matter who it is. You should appreciate it. Yeah. It wasn't a dude, you know? Like, come on. You know, and she wasn't like this like huge lady. Like, to me, she was still like somewhat of Michael's type. So
she had boobies.
Yeah, exactly. She's working at one of the biggest strip clubs in Vegas. So she couldn't have been that bad to me, you know. But I remember I stood up and I was like, "Do you appreciate that?" And then he's still looking at me, and for some reason I grabbed. Michael's much taller than me, but I when I stood up, I pushed the chair back, and it was on wheels, so it hits like this table behind me, and it's like a freaking movie scene. And when I yelled, it was like all the strippers ran off the stage and everyone was like running around and shit because I thought it was about to be a fight, because I grabbed Michael's face and pushed him at the same time as I said, you appreciate that shit. I was like, I bought that for you. And it was real quick. As soon as I did that, pushed Michael back. You know, he wasn't going to fight me or anything, but I was so mad. And I think Daniel tried to stop me, and I like swung my arm. And I was like, get off me. And then the bouncers came real quick, but then I put my hands up and I started to walk out because I'm like, I'm not going to fight Michael, you know, in this strip club. So I'm walking out. The bouncers surprisingly didn't like manhandle me or anything. I thought they were going to be like, because they don't know what's going on. It looks like a fight, right? So they, before I go out, they made me swipe my ID. And then I guess Daniel ran out after me, and they made him swipe his ID. And then I walked out, and then I think he lost me because I just ended up walking away. And I'm walking, and then the guys are all trying to call me. And then Ray, I just found this out this last weekend. Ray told me that he called me, and he's like, "Dude, where are you?" And I'm like yelling. I was like pissed off. Like, you know, I bought him this lap dance, and he didn't appreciate it. And Ray says that before I hung up, I was like, "And don't come looking for me either. I'm at Trump Tower." And then I hung up. So Ray told me this last weekend. He was like dying laughing. He's like, dude, it was so funny because you said, don't bother looking for me either. And then you told me where you were. So eventually he ended up finding me. Him and Daniel found me back at Luxor. We were like talked it out, whatever. Michael ended up sleeping in the van because it was awkward, right? We had this like physical altercation. I was like real pissed off. He was mad. But he stayed at the strip club, had a great night after that, whatever. The next day, we made love. No, I'm just kidding. No, we made it all good. Michael, he was the bigger man. He came up to me and was like, are we good, man? And I was like, yeah, we hugged it out. It was cool. Like this misunderstanding, just high tensions. Alcohol is never leads to good things.
Yeah.
So that was all good. Actually, I think brought us closer together because now we all joke around about, oh, I'm gonna appreciate you, and that means you're gonna grab someone by their face and push them. So that's kind of a joke now in the band. Like, don't make me appreciate you. So then I found out that I was banned from that strip club because the next time we went back, I couldn't get in because they checked my ID and I was in their system or something because of that fight or whatever.
What about Daniel?
Altercation. And Daniel too.
Really?
So yeah, Daniel and Ike both couldn't go in. So I felt a little bit like a badass, but at the same time it was stupid. But I think that club's shut down now.
No.
Yeah, so that was one of the craziest tour moments that we've had, just moments in general.
The shit that happens on the road.
That's something that, like, if anyone ever asks, like, tell me something I don't know about you, I could say, like, well, I was banned from a strip club. And I didn't, like, throw a punch or, like, it's kind of weird. Yeah, but that was fun.
I think the last question I want to ask you is, what does music mean to you?
Man, it means everything. I would not be who I am today without music. It's just so, my whole life is evolved around music, right? Mm-hmm. I've been playing music for so long. I've been it's writing music, recording, whatever, just different styles. And I just feel like every human, when even as a baby, you hear a beat, it all starts from the heartbeat, right? You can't help tap your foot. You hear a beat, a bass, it's hitting, or you hear music, you just want to move. It's just a natural instinct. So to me, it's inside everybody, It all starts with that metronome that you got in your heart.
Deep.
And some people, their heartbeat's a little bit different, right? Like fast, slow, whatever. But everyone's heartbeat, it's like the root of it all. And I think that anyone can learn music if they wanted to. Anyone could. You can learn anything if you want to. You just got to put time into it. 90 days. No, but it means the world to me that I'm able to make music, write stuff that people like. It doesn't really matter if people like it or not. It's if I like it, it really matters. But the fact that people do like it is even crazier to me. I appreciate the support so much because I think I answered it on your questionnaire that, when people come to your shows, when they listen to your music, when they buy your merch, like they could spend their hard-earned money, they could spend their time on anything else in the whole world. And the fact that they chose to spend it on you, on your band, support you, is like, I don't even have words to describe how much that means to me.
And that connection is the music.
Exactly. It's their music, And like talking to some fans they talked to me about some of the songs on our CDs and stuff that we wrote that they say the lyrics hit me. Or when you guys play this, it gets me through this. Like being able to help people through music. I want to help people in general, but through music is like, wow, it's crazy, man. Yeah. It's like the coolest feeling. It's something that I'll never it's always going to be with me, Yeah. It's going to be doing music forever, whether it's cover bands or whatever. If you play cover music, people want to dance, hey, they're having a good time because you're playing good music, right? So it's just, music means everything. Music is life.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like that, dude. All right, dude, let's wrap this up. Let's drop your tour dates again.
Cool.
And any social media or all social media.
Oh, man.
It's a lot of social media.
Social media. I hate it. I was talking to my wife the other day. I wish I didn't do any social media. It just takes so much time. But all right. So
or where they can find you at.
Yeah. So they can find me at It's Adam Decades In on Instagram, on Facebook. Adam Montez, Adam D Montez. You can shoot me email if you want, adamdmontez@gmail. With any questions or whatever you need. And then I think on Snapchat it's Adam Decades In. And then yeah, man, check out my clothing company, trueforcefitnesswear.com, or on Facebook, Instagram. We got some cool stuff on there. And it's not just for physical fitness, it's about mental fitness too, and inspiring you to be the best version of yourself every day in everything you do, as a parent, as a musician, teacher, whatever. Like it's about wearing that shield of inspiration and trying your hardest and giving it your all, at least for 90 days. But yeah, man, we're Decades In, Decades In Official on Facebook. And then I think it's just Decades In on Instagram. We're playing June 9th in Fresno, June 30th in Lake Tahoe, and then July 14th in San Jose at the X Bar. So
nice.
Love to see you guys come out. Maybe we'll have a new song by July. I don't know. We'll have to come and see, I guess. But yeah, I really appreciate all the support, you know, and then I've known Sergio for some time. So, you know, I really thank you for having me on this, man.
Always, dude.
It's fun.
Love you guys, man. Love you.
Love you too, man.
All right. Goodbye, people.
Peace.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Audiolosophy. Thank you to our sponsors, Zetnom Sounds and True Force Fitnesswears. Remember to use that promo code AudioForce for 10% off at True Force Fitnesswear. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram and Twitter. Again, thank you for joining me on my adventure through this crazy world we call life. Remember, folks, make it a great day or not. The choice is yours.